Just came in from out doing some snow clearing. We had a bit of snow last night. I got a package here. I think it's a little bit of some welding supplies. So I got my full TIG set up for my welder there just before Christmas, along with a tank of argon, but I didn't have any supplies. Some nice 1/16 ER70, a couple pounds of 3/32, I believe. Ah, the large fits, what do you know? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you clicking on it. We're here in the workshop right now, and I just got to do something that I want to do, a project. I've been on the computer for the last 2 days. I'm just in there now battling with it. Business stuff, switching over banking type systems, changing stuff around. Man, I am going nuts. I feel like George Costanza.
Am I talking to you, Pinhead? Am I? Probably because this whole universe is against me. It makes me so mad.
Working through some of the not so fun parts of the working for yourself. What we have right here is something Dad brought up to me. He's actually picking at doing a partial restore on the old John Deere tractor. Do you remember that one? The tractor has degraded slightly. It's had a couple issues, and it's went through, I mean, a couple decades of kind of neglect, left outside a lot, and just never, it always had parts missing. The fun story kind of about how the tractor came to be. The tractor was decommissioned decades and decades ago. My grandfather managed, I believe, to purchase off of a fellow. And this old tractor was about an hour's drive away from where we live here. It didn't run or anything, and Pop went down trip after trip, driving down there on days when he had a bit of time, taking down tools and parts, and he'd do a little bit more and do a little bit more, and he'd figure out something else was wrong. And after a few trips down, he managed to get the tractor running. So the next time he went down then, brought down a trailer, they loaded the tractor on and brought it home. And I don't think much was ever done besides getting it to be a good running tractor. It's always had a few different components missing that should have been there from factory. And it's just, there are a lot of things that could be done to get this tractor up to spec. And my dad has inherited that tractor now. So my dad is going to be, he's got some parts come in for it, things that should have been there. But right here is a component Dad brought up. This is the factory hydraulic shifter. So it's quite simple here. This is what controls the blade. We have two linkages right here that hook up to the two hydraulic pistons. Very simple, but this lever, I can't pivot it because it's pinched here in the vise now, but moves these rods which shift the pistons and control your blade. These linkages here have been improperly pinned for years. They have just worn big oblong holes in all this linkage. This should be a nice tight, there shouldn't be really any side to side slop here, but we can see that there is a lot of play here. So this whole shifter, when it's on, is just all slop. It's not a very tight maneuvering system, so we're gonna fix that. These linkages, thankfully, look to be in pretty good shape. It's just these main parts. Yeah, you can see how that's worn out there to a real big oval. clean up these couple parts now, get the rust out of them, so get them ready for the next stage. By now you might be wondering if I have done this before. No, I have not. Can it be done? I'm not even sure. But that is not going to stop me from trying, and that is how I learned to do so many of the different things that I know how to do. I like exploring and trying things. I feel like if I get the TIG torch there, I can get some heat inside down in that hole. I can protrude my electrode a little bit, my tungsten, and I can feed a little bit of mild steel in there. We can build it up and then drill it out after to a properly sized, nice symmetrical hole. Little dry run here. I think I can get some heat in there, and then we can feed from the other side. I think that'll work just fine. Look at those big fluffy flakes coming down out there. Man, is that pretty. I am an incredibly fortunate man. Don't think that I take it for granted. Let's give her a shot. That's all we can do here. One problem I didn't foresee. I can't see my my tungsten. Since this piece here has quite a bit of steel and it's worn out oblong, two pieces joined together, I'm going to bore them both out to a size larger, so it's a nice clean hole, and then I'll have a nice tight bolt to go through there. You can see the funny shape here, it's wore out. It is already a 1/2 inch in this dimension, so we're only boring in this dimension, so it's a little bit tricky there. There we go. There we go. We lose all that slop. There we go. Zero slop. Oh, that's gonna be nice. So I just pulled this back apart, cut that bolt down. Now, since this is a moving joint, you can't crank it down tight, so a lock washer will keep lots of tension on the joint. The nut will keep the lock washer in there, and then I drilled it out. I bored it for a pin. There we go, just had to get her lined up properly. Snug, zero slop here, but freely moving because I have everything spaced out with washers. Isn't that lovely? Now we also bored out these along with our linkages that go with them. So I had to make, I couldn't get the right size pin, so I had to take one of these bolts and build it into the proper cross pin that we need. And now, there we go. Now we just got to duplicate that on another bolt for right here. New bolts here, we drilled this all out. Look at this now, no movement now. Everything functions properly. That blade lockup, which didn't work before, now works, so you can lock the blade up when you're traveling. Everything is just nice and tight and precise there now.